Hi, I'm Heather.
I'm Jenny.
I'm Seth.
I'm Randall.
And I'm Ron.
Hello, I'm John, and I'm here to talk to you about gun control. I've been spending many of the past weeks trying to determine the false and truths of the statistics behind gun control. I was able to find hundreds of sites all talking about the issues, but they were all seeming to be muddled by either the NRA or the Brady campaign. So I just decided to ask myself, what would a reasonable person do if he actually wanted to know the truth about gun control? By putting aside emotions and thinking for a second, I think it really need to think about setting out how to save as many precious individual human lives as possible. It is essential that the public take their time to do the research required before making decisions about gun control that can have lasting consequences. Emotion can cloud the situation and cause a person to take any actions they would not normally perform. It is a common belief that enacting firearm tracking measures and stronger regulations on gun manufacturers by preventing the purchase of certain firearms will prevent firearm fatalities. Currently in California and recently in Washington, they passed microstamping laws. Essentially, microstamping is a device implanted in the gun which stamps a serial number specific between the cartridge and the gun. When linked to a registered owner, it can help track the guns back to crimes if they're committed. The problem is the metal on the devices in the device fired thousands of times can wear down, essentially making it mute. Doesn't work. The other problem is, since many guns used are illegally obtained, what's the point of linking a cartridge to a gun when it's not going to be able to be tracked back to an owner that's registered? The other point is, if we impose regulations on manufacturers and hold them responsible for gun deaths, that's setting an unfair precedent. There are more traffic fatalities caused every year by drivers drinking or doing drugs or other stuff. We don't hold them responsible for car owners when it's easier for an owner to buy a car than it is a gun. A majority of crimes are not committed by law-abiding gun owners. Criminals commit crimes. Laws punish those criminals. They do not prevent the crimes. History shows that these anti-gun laws, however, punish law-abiding citizens, preventing them from helping out and preventing gun crimes in the first place. Current actions being proposed by gun control activists want you to believe that these laws are in your best interests. Every year there are thousands of incidents where citizens fire guns in self-defense because law enforcement agencies are unable to arrive in time to protect those citizens. If we remove a citizen's right to defend themselves, won't we just increase the victim homicide rate? In a perfect world, there would be no deaths. But in our world, when a violent crime is committed, you have two parties, the assailant and the victim. If one had to die, would you object to it being the criminal? While growing up, we were taught two codes. A moral code taught to us by our parents of personal decisions we make. And in society, we were taught an ethical code that we live by as a group. When it comes to making decisions about gun control, we have a battle between those two moral and ethical codes. We know killing a person is wrong, so we want to do the ethical thing and make obtaining them more difficult. But is it morally right to prevent another person the right to defend themselves? Anyone can have an opinion based on wishes. It just behooves us to know what is going on in that place called reality before we set off on some self-defeating, unrealistic crusade. And crusades often get people killed. Lots and lots of people killed. Consider that the longest peace since the end of World War II is almost entirely due to nuclear arms proliferation to great powers. That's it.
No applause? Wasn't sure it was over.